There was a player named Bren.Man, and he just got his first ever tour duty ticket in day 1 for this cool game called TF2. He started to play a lot of MVM because he was so inspired to get an Australium item like all the swag YouTubers and MLG YouTubers. He didn't care about the circumstances for how long it would take to get an Australium. He wanted to get an Aussie to show people that he is very cool both on YouTube and the game, and so he began his quest to get an Aussie to not end up like an XX free-to-play scrub lord XX. There were going to be a lot of challenges and strategies he does not yet know of, but he knew one thing, and that is he was not going to become an XX free-to-play scrub lord XX, and that he was going to get an Aussie. Day 2. Bren.Man is finding MVM Pro very hard. This type of MVM is different than the rest, with so much crit robots and giants. He was afraid, but his motivation to get an Australium was the reason this scrub kept moving on. He saw many sentry busters, about 100 of them, all moving at 50 miles per second. He was frightened. They were just too fast for him, but not fast enough for Brendan's ego to get an Aussie. Day 7. He and his team were on the final wave. He couldn't believe all the challenges he had to go through, but he was relieved it was all done. This last wave was, though. Everyone on the server were XX free-to-play scrub lords XX, even more than anyone else he has ever seen. But he wasn't going to give up. He wanted to carry his whole team on. Literally. He then had an idea. He then grabbed all of his team members, collided them into one ball, and threw them all over, and threw all of the XX free-to-play scrub lords at all the robots, and they finally won the wave. Senpai was happy. He was finally going to get an Aussie, but in the end, he didn't get an Aussie. All he got was a stupid knife and some stupid robot parts, he said. He hated the knife, and he sent the knife straight to hell, and the robot parts he gave them all to the scrubs. And after this day, he knew the challenges were going to get harder and harder. Day 13. Bren.Man is still playing MVM Pro to get his Aussie, but the challenges were getting harder. All the robots were getting smarter, faster, stronger, and somewhat MLG Pro. But Bren.Man said that the robots cannot become MLG because a robot doesn't have a soul. But I do, he said. He fought all the robots with all of his arm, 45 of them, and his teammates were surprised. One XX free-to-play scrub lord XX called him a hacker and kicked Bren.Man for hacking, and when they were on the final wave, he cried in the corner and questioned, why do scrubs like them exist? Day 15. Bren.Man lost one of his arms in a battle with the robots, but he called pain nothing. The only pain he has was the pain in his heart of not getting a Nazi. He wanted one so badly. Then, Kawaii MLG Senpu Rect Elite 4433 Moose Like Blue would notice him one day, not just as a scrubby commenter, but an MLG commenter where he always gets 5000000000000000000 likes, because he has an Aussie. Bren.Man just defeated and another tour, and this was his third tour, and you couldn't believe all the struggle he had to face. He crossed his fingers, he crossed his toes, and he prayed to Lord Gaben and quietly whispered, please Gaben, give me the power to get an Aussie so my body can be ready. But when they showed him the results, all he got was some stupid scattergun and more stupid parts and a kill streak item. He didn't care for all what he got. He deleted all and sent them all straight to hell and burned them all. All he cared about was to get an Aussie. Was it so hard to get one? He said. Day 26. Bren.Man is losing all of his confidence. He's going literally into insanity. All of the scrubs and robots laughing at him, taunting at him for not getting an Aussie. He just wanted one simple item. He wanted one, and he prayed to Lord Gaben and cried, why not give me an Aussie, Lord Gaben? Am I doing something wrong? And when he completed his 6th tour on a server, it crashed and he lost connection. And he didn't even get one single item. He punched through his computer and cried to that day, "Holy shrimp, son of a dog, mother flipper, butter nugget, butter lord, holy Khan!" he said. He rebuilt his computer with his own flesh and feet. He thought if he gave TF2 his blood, Gaben would find him worthy. But eyes were just staring at him, laughing at him. Day 44. One of Brendan Dogman's super rich friends just bought an Aussie and a bunch of taunts. The friend asked Brendan if he got an Aussie yet, and Brendan Dogman said, "No, this is my 9th tour." The friend laughed at him and called him a scrub piece of shrimp. Even everyone on the world laughed at him. Bren.man cried, and he left the server and continued to play MVM to get his Aussie. This time, he was filled with hatred. He knew his friend was just another XX free-to-play scrub lord XX, and he was going to show that he doesn't need to buy his items to get an Aussie, like his friend. Pitiful. Bren.man, day 69, lost everything. His items, his hats, his sanity. Brendan couldn't believe the struggle he was facing just to get one Aussie. He prayed to Lord Gaben, "Why are you doing this to me? Please, Gaben. Am I meant not to get an Aussie?" Day 77. Brendan sees a party and wants to come. He sees it through his window. He thought to himself that he should relax. He hasn't slept for days and even eaten anything in a while. He tried to go to this party, but he was rejected by some tall MLG guy. The guy said he needed to have an Aussie and to be MLG Pro to be coming to this party. And the one hosting it was none other than his rich, scrubby friend. He went back home and cried in the corner and asked Gaben, "Why are you doing this to me, Gaben? Why?" Day 81. Brendan Man just gave his blood, heart, flesh, skills to El Centano in hope that he would get an Aussie from him. This was his 14th tour. He tried to play and he finally completed the wave, but in the end, he didn't get an Aussie at all. All this stuff he has sacrificed, he just got an unusual. He cursed this unusual to never be born and discarded from his inventory, then burned it, then discarded again, then burned it again, and then scared it, then killed its family, then burned it, then discarded, then burned the ashes, and burned the unusual family. Then Brenman was filled with hatred and anger and depression. Why, Gaben? Please. Day 106. Brendan Man was still on his 13th tour and has not received any Aussie. He cried that day. His MLG Hitman boss told Brendan Man he was fired from the Valve Software Quickscope Enterprise because he didn't have an Aussie. He couldn't believe it. He then Hulk smashed Russia with his entire fist and showed his anger towards everyone. No one was safe from his anger. Day 165. Brendan Man just got a bae, and the bae wanted to marry him. But Brendan Man rejected his bae and gave all the robot parts to her and said, "Take this, you scrub." He said that his only wife was TF2. "I will get an Aussie. I know I can." Day 199. All the MLG Quickscope pros bully Brendan Man in the streets for not having an Aussie. They kicked at him and laughed at him. But Brendan Man did nothing but only cry and said, "I deserve this." Day 288. Bren been playing non-stop TF2 for almost 288 days, and he has not received any Aussie. He went to pray to Gaben and asked Gaben, "Why won't you see me worthy? How much must I sacrifice to get an Aussie?" Day 289. Bren just sacrificed his name to the Valve mob boss because Bren needed rent money. Day 366. Bren.man can't play TF2 for his life. Every time he was so close to the challenges, he just becomes much harder. A smaller fraction where his execution is close, relentlessly distracting him from fate. He wanted that Aussie now than ever. Day 599. Bren's house just got burned down, but he didn't leave. Instead, he kept playing TF2 to get his Aussie, but no chance. The challenge was just harder. There were there were robots running about 109090 miles per millisecond. He couldn't believe the strength of the power they had. Day 655. Bren.man life was being threatened. He was going to lose his private parts and legs, but he didn't care. He gave it to the haters and said, haters gonna hate, and he kept playing TF2. Day 688. Bren.man lost all of his arms, but he didn't care. He kept playing TF2. Day 691. Bren.man lost all of his eyes and legs, but didn't care either. He kept playing. Day 700. Bren.man lost his soul, but he kept playing. Day 705. Bren.man lost all of his intention, but he kept playing. Day 706. Bren lost his internet, all of it, but kept playing. Day 709. Brennan lost everything, but not his Steam account and computer, but he still kept playing. No Aussie, no life, no Steam, no TF2. What am I doing wrong, Gaben? Everyone has an Aussie, but not me. Please, Gaben, why don't you answer me? I guess this is how it's supposed to meant to be. I give up, Gaben. I guess I'll always be an XX free-to-play Scrub Lord XX. Forever. I'm sorry, Gaben. I give up. The moment Bren.man was about to leave the room, Gaben appeared behind him. Gaben, Bren said. Bren.man, I am the light to all darkness. People may think darkness is stronger, but the truth is, an Aussie is brighter. I am the Lord of percent offs in the games, and the Lords too of all the gods himself. I am the wisdom, I am the word, and the rules of life. I am the helper, and the lamb, and the fisherman. I am all men. I am Lord Gaben, founder of gods, peace, life, TF2, Valve, MLG, Quickscope, and everything. Gaben, Brent said again. Why would you never call me? I have been trying to get an Aussie for all my life, but I have not got one yet. Am I not worthy, Gaben? Please, Gaben. I want to get an Aussie. Bren.man, wisdom of men. I have not answered you because I was getting a kill streak in TF2 of 1094848494117422,000 gajillion 444 million billion quadruple 44411898944 700 billion quadruple 4444444911087789 on all the scrubs. But I decided to answer your prayer. Bren.man, I am proud of you for not being XX free-to-play Scrub Lord XX, and by not buying an Aussie like some of your friends. That's how a true MLG player lives on. Gaben, I want an Aussie, please, Gaben. Gaben, light is always, when there's light, there is always darkness. But darkness won't exist when you get the Aussie. But Gaben, how do I get an Aussie? Shh. Hush, Brenda. Gavin said. Gavin put his arms and his hands and his feet on Brendot's man's sexy chest and said the ancient words, Hokana Shina, Lokarana, Mukana Tefto, Osina San, Bringam the Ossi, Ovunana, Hunta, Hokana, Hukana, Hulana, Miedrana, Ha! Brendot man appeared in a white room. Where am I? He said, and Gavin said, You're inside me, Brendot man. I will give you the power of mine, Brendot man, to you. Now, Brendot man, wreck those metallic scrubs and get your Aussie that you deserve. Thank you, my lord, he said. Gavin gave Bren a new computer by the power of Exodia and Jesus and Ra. And Brendot man fought all the robots alone, not even with a team. He was alone against 109,000 gajillion robots, and they all had high damage of 1 billion damage rate, and moved about 100,94198 gajillion 400 and 500 million gajillion thousands miles per second. But Bren fought them as if they were toys. After 5 hours of strugglingness, Brendot man exploded all the robots with his dick and will and defeated TF2 itself. But his final boss was the Emperor of Scrub Lords, Lord XX, free to play Scrub Lord XX. But Brenman just killed him off easily before he was about to give his speech. And so on after that amazing battle that took place for almost 10 hours.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. Oh my god! Oh my god!
He burned all the scrubs with his superpower flamethrower and defeated everyone. This is the story of how Bren was a pro at TF2. Amen to that.